Hello everyone, no respawns, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. So this is a hotel apartment type thing, but the main premise is, one, I wanted to make kind of a scrappy hotel apartment type thing, but also I wanted to do a slightly updated video on kind of repairing the junky ruined houses that you find in, well, obviously I'm at Murkwater right now, but also you find them in Ten Pines Bluff, County Crossing, and I think that's the only place with that specific style. Just as a side note, this is a really cool build, I really like it. The tour is a little bit longer in this one, but it's only the exterior, and there's a little bit of footage missing. Basically, this has been a bit of a nightmare. I think this build's cursed. It looks really cool, but it just, a load of my footage got corrupted. But it's only the kind of the chaff stuff. It's not the important meat, and also it's mostly decorative stuff, basically, the footage that gets missing. So that's why I made the exterior tour a little bit longer, and also I made sure that I will decorate it when I do the actual full tour of the settlement, but it looks cool. I decorated the outside. It's a very cool build. You'll like this one. You'll like this one. But for some reason, I did this in about, I think, normally I do my videos in about 5 different takes, like 5 different sections. This one's about 12, and all the footage makes no sense. So I've tried to record this a few times. So as a note, I have the scrapping mod currently disabled, but what I did before I started all doing this, you also may notice that I'm actually building the structure outside before I actually connect it to the building, is I had the scrapping mod enabled, and I went over to that house and I scrapped all of the junk and debris I wanted to get rid of, then saved the game and then exited and disabled the scrapping mod, which enabled me, with all the stuff came back. But as you know, and I mentioned, remind everyone again, the scrapping mod does get in the way of the pillar glitching and just general kind of trying to glitch things into structures, so it's a bit of a nightmare. What I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of making the frame, the length of this. So what will probably some people find quite tricky with this is getting everything the right length and width. So I can just basically pick this up with a pillar and then shunt it straight into the house. So basically this is, you can see, 3 sections wide and 1.5 sections deep, and that will basically go from the back of the house comfortably right up to the front, not including the kind of the doorway which you have to manually put in. And as a side note, I make it 2 floors high. They may notice as well, I did forget a couple of things. When you do this, because you'll see bits of the building sticking out the top, it'll be very difficult to snap things on into these 2 floors once I've moved in. Look how perfectly that squeezes in there. Oosh. So just a quick note on the top floors. I've left a few of them open because of the fact that they don't match up, as you'll see in a second. It's a very cool structure, this one. I very much like it. But it's been kind of the bane of my week. It just kept going wrong, and the footage, I think it's cursed, people. God damn it. It looks cool, though. This idea didn't work, so I get rid of that. So this is the balcony area, which so the problem is I was going to use that little kind of wall with the roof thing. The problem is if you saw that just snapped right there, that thing will not snap directly centered, so it would stick about 1/5 out the side, so you have to manually make something, which is why I make this little balcony area, which is very, very simple to do, but lots of customness. The good thing about this build is, even though it might be potentially a little bit difficult to follow, it is actually very simple, because of the fact that, I realised this, it's a very vanilla build for me. So those of you who've been following my channel right from the start know that basically all of my structures were built, because this is when before we had mods, we basically just had wood and steel. Everything was made out of wood and steel. And then we got concrete in like 4 or 5 months afterwards in our first DLC. Second DLC, rather. And so I haven't, for a very, very long time, made structures completely out of wood. And I was very conscious of this, so you probably see, especially in the tour, that I've made quite an active effort to hide the textures. It was quite fun to do, but I just don't know why this was so tricky. So you can see the parts here. The reason why I'm using these half-shack walls is because, again, I can't just snap a wall on those parts because they're way too long. So I made this little doorway area, and I'm basically popping these parts in, as you'll see. That's why I left those parts open, so that way I can manually put things. But as you can see, it's really simple. You just use the big pillars and you squeeze stuff in. What I actually do in one of the parts that stupidly got corrupted is, but I do show you in the tour, it's very simple. What I'm doing right now in the metal tab, and I do show you where these are, there are recolored barns basically, and I use some green steel to kind of add a bit more texture and kind of different colours on the outside, and I basically just glitch them in exactly the way I'm doing like this. But unfortunately, my capture card had a bit of... I just think this video is cursed. Don't know why. Oh, this footage, rather. This build. It's a shame. It's alright, I've got a mod review for you, and also another Warhammer 40k lore video. So it should be cool, which will be this weekend. So I'm having quite a lot of fun. I've got loads of videos planned, just the stupid build. It's alright, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, yeah? It looks cool. I won. I beat it. It just took a while. Yeah. Unrelated, I have been watching Mindhunter. I just finished it today on Netflix. This isn't an ad or anything. I just watched it and it's really, really cool. So you should watch that. It's really, really grand. Very, very cool. I may have been watching it in the office today when I couldn't be asked to do any work. It's Friday. I'm allowed. I'm not allowed, but it's alright. I couldn't be bothered. So it's starting to take shape now. It's not actually, but it does look really cool, trust me. So basically one thing is I initially was going to make this like really, really tall. So this is a part that I lost a load of footage. So I've made this floor here and I've just snapped those end bits on, as you can see. But you know, as you can see, it's really straightforward. Just 3 of them and then these shack wall corners. Bing, bang, bosh. There we go. But I do miss little bits of footage. What was I saying? Yes, I was going to make this much taller. And then I remembered I hate really, really tall structures. Those who've been following me since the kind of the beginning, you know, old school, ostensibly, is that I mentioned a few times that I don't really like making massive structures because I find it makes you repeat textures too much and it just makes it look like an eyesore. Like one of the reasons why I think this structure has been quite a pain for me is because I'm using wood and kind of doing what ostensibly is quite vanilla. I got really bothered with the way it looked. I was like, wait, no, that's way too much wood. It just looks kind of lame and boring and dull. So I end up basically, yeah, just spend a lot of time decorating. But you'll see. But I haven't decorated the inside because I think I got a little bit sick and tired of it. I need a break. I need a break. I need to leave it alone because it's a very cool build. But the tour's like 2 minutes on the outside, so it's fine. So I ended up making, and I wanted to make it kind of like oddly shaped. You'll see in the tour. So it's a bit probably hard to follow, but it looks cool. And it's very simple. Honestly, the hardest part about this was thinking of it. And yeah, so I'm okay in the warehouse section. You see a warehouse retextures green. This is what I end up doing. I really like this green texture. It allows me to make kind of this little tower thing. Oh, a little kind of barn thing. It just makes a little kind of, you know, bit at the top that looks cool. I remember the name. So here's the tour. I know that was really quick, right? It's fine. But I do this tour very slowly. So firstly, I stole the Hotel Rexford sign. That is the custom vanilla assets mod. I just thought it looked cool. It's not actually the Hotel Rexford. And I've got a few bits and pieces. Now, you may notice on the walls, I've got green piece of metal and I've sunk in some junk fences. That's just to add some texture. I really like that holder for my light. I just wanted to make something custom. And I've also glitched underneath the little sticky outer walls, some actual supports. So it looks really, really cool, and what I've kind of focused on doing is adding as much texture as I can. So you see those junky piles of trash are actually from the various junk wall mods, and as you can see, I've sunk a load of those green metal barn walls in, and then also if you see a little bit of posters, that's from the posters of the Commonwealth mod. Then what I've gone and done is I've just basically kind of glitch them to the outside just to kind of add a little bit more broken up texture. But I really like the way this looks. So we pop in here. So I haven't decorated the inside, but you can see the space. I haven't actually disabled the scrapping mod as well because I just didn't bother. But basically all of this junk is actually removed, and I will decorate it for when I do the full tour of this settlement. But yeah, it's a very, very... I'm quite pleased with the structure, but 1, it was cursed, and 2, it was just being a pain in the dick. But I really, really like the way it looks, and so I do slowly go inside so you can see it. So see right here, I've built some more walls, just to kind of basically, a lot of these walls, it's very, very straightforward, really, actually, which is quite grand. I really do like that little balcony. It was kind of an unintentional thing. There's a little bit of clippage for the floor. Did you just see that back there? That's fine, because it doesn't really block your path. And I can't really place much furniture in that particular section. This is going to have lots of beds in it, I think, but it'll be quite fine. I do show you my little lamp holder thing. So we turn around here. That's my suit of power armor. Inside there I've rug glitched a fiery barrel, because we've got to do that. So look at this. This looks really cool. There's actually loads of floating rugs around here. but it's quite cool. I don't know why I did that. I just really, really liked it. Anyway, hope you guys liked that. As always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. I'll have a new video up soon. And you guys enjoy your weekend. Take care.